Alright, we're now starting the judging for Dog of the Year. Starting off with the Dalmatian, catalogue number 118, and the Miniature Poodle, catalogue number 107. Each exhibitor going to their respective judges. Three judges tonight, all from overseas. Alright, currently examining the Dalmatian. One of our judges. Mr. Santos, who's just examined the Dalmatian. Dalmatian heading around to possibly one of the most prestigious judges we've ever hosted in Australia, Mr. Rafael de Santiago. President of the FCI, as I'm sure everyone's well aware now, and the jewel in the Dog of the Year judging panel crown, I suppose. An absolute privilege to have this man judging our beautiful Australian dogs, and I for one am exceptionally proud of the dogs that are being shown to all of these wonderful judges. Mr. Santos examining the Miniature Poodle. Miniature Poodle making his way around to the next judge, and our Dalmatian being considered by the third and final judge that will consider that dog tonight, Mr. Zeferino Silva. Dalmatian getting ready to move. Should mention our Dalmatian is catalogue number 118. Quickly flick through. From the non-sporting group. This Dalmatian owned and bred by T&S Irving, who've made the long trip down from central Queensland. Around about, I'd give it 9 or 10 hours driving for this Dalmatian to be here tonight. So, fantastic effort. Dalmatian making her way around the ring. Handler making good use of the space, really showing off the movement of this lovely Dalmatian. A Miniature Poodle, also from the non-sporting group. Bred and owned by Mr. James Bennett. Oh, stopping for wee-wees. Judges signalling to say, do it again. Go out and back again, take another go. Because needing to go to the bathroom can actually inhibit movement of the dogs. They're saying, right, go again so we can see it clearly. Miniature Poodle moving out and back. A lot of the coated breeds, like the poodles, very hesitant to go to the bathroom before the ring. They try to hold it because they think they're being good for the owners, because they spend a lot of time on that grooming table, so they're trying to keep clean for their owners, which is wonderful. But then when you get moving, sometimes you just can't hold it anymore. So, beautiful Miniature Poodle making its way around. And our judges taking a few extra moments to look before they write down who their winner is. Of course, the level of competition is just exceptional. Beautiful dogs, both of them. Both from Group 7, the non-sporting group. As the judges' cards go to our announcer for the evening.
Okay, we have a result. First of all, we have a blue, a red,
one blue, one red,
and a blue.
and a blue. The Dalmatian will be going through.
Number 118 and will become a blue.
Worth the 10-hour trip down from Central Queensland. Our next dogs for the Dog of the Year, the most prestigious award in Queensland, coming through now. Our blue exhibit is number 82 in the catalogue, the Siberian Husky. And our red exhibit is the Fox Terrier Smooth, number 18. Oh, and I just love the dress the handler has on. That's beautiful. I shouldn't be commenting on the handlers, but I love the dress. Moving back over to a judge has been described as a bit of a larrikin tonight, actually. He's been live streaming some of the Puppy of the Year very joyfully and energetically. It's just been wonderful to see. Might be out of a job soon if he were to stay, Mr. Santos. Probably a testament to the larrikin nature, more familiarly known as Dinky amongst his peers. A Siberian Husky making its way around. And the Fox Terrier breaking gait just a little bit as it comes up to be judged. Despite the nickname Dinky, I'm going to keep referring to our esteemed judge as Mr. Santos. Fox Terrier Smooth making its way around to the third and final judge for consideration tonight, the man himself, Mr. Santiago. I'd be taking a few deep breaths, Mr. Santiago, looking at my dog, that's for sure. Now our Fox Terrier Smooth is catalogue number 18 tonight. Number 18. It's bred by Mrs. Monica Piquet and is owned by both the breeder, Mrs. Monica Piquet and Mrs. Benita Mangan. Siberian Husky now from the utility group, Group 6, is the blue exhibit, catalogue number 82. It was bred by the much loved late Mrs. Cheryl LaCourte and is owned by Mr. LaCourte, Mr. Briggs and Ms. Jacobson. Siberian Husky coming to a beautiful stand in front of the judges. And the Fox Terrier Smooth having the opportunity to make his way out and back. And coming to also a lovely stand. The judges having a look at the outline of the dog, and the expression as well is very important. One last time around for the judges to consider the Fox Terrier Smooth. Judges indicating that they've seen what they'd like to see and sending the lovely dogs back down to their markers. The Siberian Husky, the blue exhibit, and the Fox Terrier Smooth, number 18, the red. You can hear around the ring little whispers of who thinks which one's won what. But they're both such outstanding quality. Only the judges can say. We'll find out who will go through the next round from our Siberian Husky and our Fox Terrier Smooth.
The result for this round, we have a blue,
A blue, a blue, and a blue. It's the Siberian Husky, number 82, going through.
It will become a red.
Our next two Dogs of the Year from the top 32 ready to go around. Number 53, the Dachshund Miniature Smooth. It's on its way around, and one of two exhibits from the toy group. Number 5 is the Pekingese. Dachshund Miniature Smooth from the Hound group. On the table, I've seen that purple suit before. Obviously, Miniature Smooth Dachshund's been very successful. Now this Jackie Miniature Smooth is catalogue number 53, owned and bred by Mr. M and Mrs. J Yardley. Moving over to our Pekingese as well. There is dog under all of that coat for the judge to consider, so the judges will put their hands right into all that beautiful fluff and feel for all the angles and slopes of the bone and muscle that happen underneath that coat. Our Fox Terrier having one last look over as he hands around to Mr. Santiago. I feel like I need to take a deep breath just saying his name. I'll get over my little fangirling very soon, I'm sure. Mr. Santos looking over the Pekingese now. Mr. Santos is currently the president of the FCI Asia Pacific section and has been since 2013. Also the president of the Philippine Canine Club. And he's held that position since 2004. So he's had a very significant impact on dog showing internationally. So also very privileged to have Mr. Santos judging here tonight. Pekingese. Possibly the slowest mover of the dog world. Dachshund being considered by his third and final judge, Mr. Silver. Mr. Silver's seen what he needs to see. Mr. Santiago still examining the Pekingese. Being very thorough in his assessment, as you would expect. And ready to see our small dogs on the move. Now the Pekingese could have come up against a much larger breed. It's all just luck of the draw. We have two littlies in this particular round. Our Dachshund Mini Smooth, catalogue number 53, heading out and back. The judges watching with great consideration. Each looking at the outline, each trying to get the expression by catching the attention of the little dog, watching the movement intently. Mr. Santos is actually getting down on one knee to watch the short legs of the Dachshund as it moves around the ring. They're very intent indeed, taking their job very seriously tonight. The Pekingese now, one of just two toys or exhibits from the toy group that went through to the top 32. Bred by Patricia Smith, still owned by P. Smith, but also co-owned by G. Neve as well. Pekingese will make a somewhat smaller circle than some of the larger breeds. Still giving the judges the opportunity, of course, to have a good look at the movement of the Pekingese. But with the slow-moving breed, not necessary to make use of the entire ring. We'd be here a while. All right. Our blue exhibit, number 53, the Dachshund Miniature Smooth. And our red exhibit, number 5, the Pekingese. Ready to see who will go through to the second round for the 2016 Dog of the Year. The judges have made their decisions. They've each made their way back to their respective benches. Now remember, the ducky is blue, the Pekingese is red.
For this round, we have a blue,
a blue,
and a red.
A red and a red. The Pekingese will be going through.
The Pekingese is number 5.
Exhibit number 5.
A blue in the next round.
Inside, Mark, you can go to the outside, mate. I love the suit, mate. I love the suit.
Encouragement coming from the outside of the ring, which is lovely. Fantastic to see. As our next two exhibits, the 2016 Dog of the Year, ready to enter the ring. I remember each of these dogs have achieved a Best in Show or a runner-up Best in Show at an All Breeds or Specialty Championship show. Number 76 is our Australian Shepherd, and we have our Dachshund long coat, so the standard, not miniature, is number 61. Aussie Shepherd from the working dog group, being examined by Mr. Santos first. Checking all the dimensions of this hard-working breed, called the Australian Shepherd, but mostly developed, I won't say originating from, but developed in the US. Very, very popular there, but also, of course, very popular here. They come in those beautiful colours. Also very trainable, very active dogs. Very intelligent. And this one, an old hand. You have some dogs that just show themselves. As the Australian Shepherd is presented to Mr. Santiago, we'll move over to the Dachshund long coat. Down to Mr. Santos. Considerably larger than the miniature variety of Dachshund. This Dachshund is the red exhibit tonight. Catalogue number 61. Was bred by J&L Black, still co-owned by J&L Black, but also by R&C Armitage. Move over to the Australian Shepherd, being examined by Mr. Silver. Back around to the Dachshund long. So Dachshund goes to be examined by Mr. Santiago. Australian Shepherd just waiting by off the shot to be moved. Mr. Santiago giving each dog his full examination. So ready to see our two exhibits move, starting with number 76 in the Dog of the Year catalogue, the Australian Shepherd, bred by Mrs. L. Parker, now owned by Mrs. K. Vardy and Mrs. D. Puttock. Moving out and back, bit of a weather update. The temperature has dropped significantly. It was a very, very warm day in Brisbane today. And I think there are a few cold hands and feet floating around in their party dresses tonight. The Australian Shepherd going to a beautiful stand. The judges actually walking right around the dog. And a good look at the outline, the presence, the expression. Mr. Santiago going in for another look, another touch. As the Aussie Shepherd makes its way back around. Some nods of appreciation from the judges for a beautiful dog. And the Dachshund long hair. Very pretty dogs. You can see why Peter Alexander made the Dachshund long coat the ambassador for his brand of designer pajamas. Very pretty. Dachshund long coat. Exhibit number 61. Judges again taking the opportunity to walk right around and consider the dog from all angles. The overall picture and expression. As our two exhibits make their way back to their markers. Our Australian Shepherd, the blue exhibit, and the Dachshund long, the red.
Okay, we have a result.
The result now, one blue,
And a blue.
and two for the Australian Shepherd, one for the Dachshund. So number 76, the Aussie Shepherd, is going through. Our blue exhibit is number 104, Standard Poodle. And our Cocker Spaniel is number 41, the red exhibit. The Poodle coming to a standstill in front of Mr. Santos. Just a phenomenal amount of grooming going into these beautiful standard poodles. Mr. Silver having one last look at the Cocker Spaniel. Now, here's a breed specialist for Cocker Spaniels, Mr. Silver. We've moved to the Poodle, but I'll keep mentioning Mr. Silver started breeding English Cocker Spaniels more than 30 years ago, and more recently has had the American Cocker Spaniels. The Poodle making its way around to Mr. Santiago. The Cocker Spaniel down in front of Mr. Santos. Mr. Santiago examining a beautiful standard poodle, just immaculately groomed. Pristine white, the top knot not a hair out of place, just immaculate. Moving on to Mr. Silver, got our Cocker Spaniel, leaving Mr. Santos and heading over to Mr. Santiago. Mr. Santiago, being such an esteemed, noteworthy member of the dog world, says that he has judging assignments at least 3 of every 4 weekends, but still finds the time to work at his capacity as the president of Imogen Optima, which is an advertising and PR firm, agency in San Juan. The standard poodle getting one last look over from Mr. Silver. Immaculate standard poodle, ready to move, moving out and back. And the coat just ruffling perfectly as he goes. Judge is moving right around the dog. Mr. Santiago, I can't see this, it looks like he's checking the turn of stifle, the tuck up of the loin perhaps. It's hard to see from this side. And sending the standard poodle around. Poodle having absolutely no trouble covering the ground. Don't let the fluff fool you. It's a muscular and athletic dog underneath that beautiful, immaculate coat. Beetle knows he's done well. I should mention the catalogues. Our Cocker Spaniel is catalogue number 41. Okay. There's the cocker around one more time. Having trouble finding the cocker in the thing. There we go, number 41. Bred and owned by Melissa Grant. Our beautiful standard poodle. Our poodle. Exhibit number 104. Our poodle. Bred by M&L Boyd, still co-owned by the Boyds and also J. Falls. Our badge. Our steward standing in the direct view of the camera, but that's okay. He'll move. And the standard poodle will be going through to the next round.
104 goes to the next round and will become a blue.
Number 104, the standard poodle, getting one more round of applause, going through to the next round.
Thank you. Entering the ring, we have the blue dog, number 94.
Number 94 is the Russian Black Terrier, will be the blue dog. And moving on at a more stately pace, a French Bulldog, catalogue number 109 tonight. Great to see the Russian Black Terrier, one of the rarer breeds from Group 6, the utility group. Mr. Santos going right over the Russian Black. Cross over to Mr. Silver with the French Bulldog. As the Russian Black Terrier approaches Mr. Santos, the third, his second judge to examine, Mr. Santiago. Mr. D. Santiago's involvement with the FCI dates back to 1979. And he was part of the committee that led the recognition of the Kennel Club of Puerto Rico to become a member of the FCI. Mr. Santos examining the French Bulldog. A French Bulldog is exhibit number 109 from Group 7, the non-sporting group, owned and bred by Jackie Shaw. French Bulldog making its way up to the third and final judge for consideration, Mr. D. Santiago. Quick look at the bite of the French Bulldog. Expression, shoulders, the leg, slope of the shoulder there, down the top line, under the chest, giving full consideration to each of the areas as prescribed by the breed standard for the French Bulldog. The Russian Black Terrier making its way over. Russian Black Terrier is exhibit number 94 from the utility group, bred by G.A. This one's going to get me. G.A. Drugovtseva. Should have practiced that one. Russia. Now owned by N. Sadikova. Russian Black Terrier making good use of the ring, covering the ground with ease. The handler looking thrilled to be here, which is wonderful. French Bulldog now making its way out and back. The handler looking dapper in a lovely blue suit. Judges getting a look from all around. Two have already made their selection. Third made the selection. I wonder if that's because it's an easy or a difficult decision. I imagine it's very difficult. The ring steward sending both our exhibits back down to the markers. Our Russian Black Terrier blue, number 94 in the catalogue, and our French Bulldog red, 109 in the catalogue.
Okay, we have a red, a blue, and a blue.
A red, a blue, and a blue, which means our Russian Black Terrier
Through to the next round.
will be going
and
through.
it will become a red, number 94. We're just going to have a 2-minute break.
Entering the ring, we have blue 6 and red 22.
Right. Two exhibits, one from the toy group, one from the terrier group. Number 6 is our Italian Greyhound from the toy group. Number 22 will be red. the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. The photographer making her way around the ring. Staffordshire Bull Terrier being considered by Mr. Silva, Mr. Santos considering the Italian Greyhound. Having a good look, sending the Italian Greyhound over to be judged by Mr. Di Santiago. And Mr. Di Santiago, a hound man. The Italian Greyhound, though, of course, in Australia, part of the toy group, Group 1. The Italian Greyhound tonight is exhibit number 6, owned and bred by Jill Marks. A Staffordshire Bull Terrier is exhibit number 22 in the catalogue. Bred by John Vivian and Tiffany Ross. Still co-owned by those two, but also by S. Avery as well. Mr. Silva, a good look at the Italian Greyhound, examining the bite. Right down the dog, the shoulders, top line. A particular, typical top line of all the Greyhound varieties. And each of our dogs ready to be moved. Our blue dog, the Italian Greyhound, ready to be sent out and back. Our Staffordshire Bull Terrier as well, ready to move. Loving the handler's bow tie, the white bow tie and the pink shirt. Lovely. Staffy. Oh, jumping around a little bit, but he's alright. He's alright. Just getting excited. And taking his handler for a lap around the ring. This will be a very tough decision for the judges. The Italian Greyhound in the blue position. The Staffordshire Bull Terrier in red.
Okay, the decision for this round. We have a red.
A red for the Staffy.
And a red.
It's unanimous. The Staffordshire Bull Terrier
Next round.
will be through to the next round.
Is 22 and it becomes a blue in the next round. Nice big round of applause for these dogs, please.
Alright, now beautiful dogs making their way out of the ring, ready for the next two. Coming into the ring as the blue dog, 49, the Pharaoh Hound, and 23, the red exhibit, is the Fox Terrier Smooth. Very eye-catching gold suit. I love it. Love that. Looks fantastic. As the Fox Terrier Smooth stops with Mr. Silver. And good look at that expression. Ah, and the tail wag. My favourite. The Pharaoh Hound being considered by the judge. Fitting that it's the blue exhibit today with the handlers matching hair. Like she planned it that way. Oh, clever girl. As the Pharaoh Hound goes to Mr. De Santiago, and the Fox Terrier Smooth moves its way around to Mr. Santos. Mr. De Santiago giving his full attention to the beautiful Pharaoh Hound. Mr. De Santiago mostly involved with Afghan hounds, so he's a man who knows all his breeds, of course, inside out, but especially interested in the hounds. Fox Terrier Smooth. Mr. Santos has bred and shown, been involved with bull terriers, which is not super similar to the Fox Terriers. But again, it's nice to know that your judge has personal interest and experience in the group that your dog's been drawn from. There's the Fox Terrier, just behaving beautifully. He looks immaculate. Moves around to Mr. De Santiago. The Pharaoh Hound is being considered by Mr. Silva. Moving back to the Fox Terrier. They come in a smooth and a wire coat variety, but of course this one, the Smooth. The Fox Terrier is exhibit number 23 tonight. This particular Fox Terrier, bred by Mrs. A. Bow, now owned by B.J. Duncan. Our Pharaoh Hound, from the Hound Group, of course, number 49 in the catalogue tonight. And number 49 was bred by Dr. Anika Oxa Walker, now owned by Mr. Ivan O'Reilly. Going to send the Pharaoh Hound all the way around to see that beautiful movement from all angles. The Fox Terrier Smooth, making its way out and back. Quick shake. And off he goes, keeps going. He's an experienced showman, this one. Knows where he needs to be. Beautiful. The fox terrier. Smooth. Making its way once more right around the ring. The judges have already marked their papers and given them to the ring steward to take down to the announcer. It is getting late and it's getting cold, but they still are giving each dog the individual attention they are due.
Okay, the result for this round. Proceeding to the
Our
next
Pharaoh hound is blue.
red.
A fox terrier, red.
Blue.
Unanimously going through.
Going to the next round.
Fox terrier smooth.
Number 23,
Red
and
is
he
number
stays
23.
on red.
And a round of applause as these two make their way out. That puts us at about the halfway mark through our 32 top exhibits. We have 16 to go.
Entering the ring, we have blue dog number 64. Red dog, down
I'm not sure which one's getting more cheers. They both got cheers and applause as they came in. Our Border Collie is the blue dog, catalogue number 64, and the Caissons from Group 7 is number 111, the red dog. Caisson getting one more quick brush. Judges going over the dogs as we make our way into the second half of the first round. Now, of course, once we get through this first round, it will move much, much more quickly, because this is where the judges go over the dogs in detail. Well, once they've done it, they don't need to do it again for the subsequent rounds. Mr. Silva taking his time with the Caissons. The handler moves him around. We've got Mr. De Santiago going over the Border Collie as well. Mr. Santos now a chance to view the beautiful Caisson from Group 7. The Caisson is exhibit number 111 tonight. Number 111 is bred by B&K Santos. Now still co-owned by K Santos, along with D&D Wall and L Cassidy. Caisson making his way around to Mr. De Santiago, and the Border Collie getting a good look from Mr. Silva. As soon as the judges have finished their examinations of these two, we'll go on to see them move. And Border Collie is the blue dog tonight. caisson all finished now, Mr. Di Santiago. And our border collie ready to move. Exhibit number 64 in the catalogue. This border collie was bred by L.M. Holden, still owned by L&A Holden and J. Tyler. Covering the ring like he could do it all day, the border collie making its way around. Judges having a good look at the border collie before considering the caisson. Letting the caisson move in a very natural way. Moving the dog more slowly shows off what I suppose horse people would call impulsion, or the energy of the dog, rather than just letting them go hell for leather. Of course, your working breeds will move very, very quickly, but for a breed like a caisson, being able to see that impulsion is very beautiful. Judges haven't entirely finished. I think they made it to the last minute to make a decision on these two. The border collie is blue, the caisson red. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be a very hard decision with these two. I mean, it's a hard decision with all of them, but exceptional dogs.
Okay, we have a result. We have a blue.
One blue.
8 blue.
A blue.
And 8 blue.
It's unanimous in the border collie from the working group.
Round number 64.
Number 64.
Will remain 8 blue for the next round.
A round of applause. Two beautiful exhibits. As our next two are ready to come into the ring.
Entering the ring, we have blue 110 and red number 54.
We've got our Dalmatian in blue, exhibit number 110, and having come all the way from Blackwater in central Queensland, our Afghan hound is number 54. Now, it would be very nerve-wracking to be the owner, breeder, handler of an Afghan hound in front of these three judges. I've been reading up, of course, Mr. Di Santiago, Afghan is his breed and is so very famous for the exceptional Afghans that he's had. I'll just check on Mr. Silva. I have a funny feeling he has also had Afghans. Let me check that. Yes. Mr. Silva with the Afghan now has been involved in the foundation and direction of the Portuguese Sighthound Club, so he has showed and bred Afghans and whippets. Mr. Santos is the only one of the three judges not to have owned and exhibited Afghans. Our lovely Dalmatian going for a bit of a walk. You can actually tell a lot about a dog's conformation when it's walking as opposed to gaiting. Oh, our effortless Afghan making his way around to Mr. Santos. Mr. Silva still watching that Afghan. It's being examined by Mr. Santos. Very nerve-wracking. The Dalmatian has moved off camera around to Mr. Silver, and Mr. Santos still going over a beautiful Afghan hound. I should mention where they've come from. Our Afghan tonight is catalogue number 54. I'll flick through. This particular Afghan is bred by Mr. L and Mrs. H. Gibson, still co-owned by the Gibsons, but also owned by Mr. D and Mrs. N. Wilson. And our Dalmatian on the move now. The Dalmatian is exhibit number 110, owned and bred by Fran Darling. Dalmatian getting a lap around the ring. Has lovely spotting. Of course, the spots in Dalmatian, the hallmark of the breed, and from memory, I haven't checked the standard in a little while, but they're supposed to be as much as possible about the size of a 20-cent piece and separate spots. Now here we go, the Afghan hound in front of a very intimidating group of Afghan judges. In particular, Mr. D. Santiago, who's just Mr. Afghan hound. A round of applause coming for the beautiful Afghan. Sending them straight down to the markers. The judges have made the decisions, just so that we have it clear as they read out the results. The Dalmatian 110 is blue. The Afghan number 54 is red.
So we have a result for this round. We have a red, and a red.
Unanimously, it's the Afghan hound.
The next round, the Afghan hound's number.
A wonderful accolade. Specialist Afghan judges.
Will maintain its status of red for the next round.
Our next two exhibits ready to go. Down to our top 12 now. Well, our last 12, I should say. Our last 12 to be considered for the first round. We're going to start off with number 36. Our blue dog will be the pointer, 36. And our red dog, the Australian Kelpie, number 73. Two lovely young handlers in beautiful suits, dressed for the occasion. Oh, I do know that one of our three judges is a pointer man. Let me double check. I always wonder too, when judges come to Australia from overseas, if they get a bit of a kick out of judging quintessential Australian breeds like the Australian Kelpie. Makes me very proud as an Australian Kelpie through to the Dog of the Year. Now, Mr. Santos, who's currently considering the pointer, has been involved with German short-haired pointers, which of course are not the same as a pointer, but have been involved with that. Our judge that is still currently actively involved with breeding and showing pointers is Mr. Silver, who's yet to see the pointer, but he's watching with interest. Off camera, you won't see, but he's going around to have a cheeky little preview of the pointer. Mr. Santos reviewing the Australian Kelpie one more time. Mr. D. Santiago looking with interest at our Australian Kelpie. This is the one you'd be nervous for, Mr. Silver, who is a currently involved in breeding and showing pointers, going over our pointer. It would be a nerve-wracking moment for the handler. But I can tell he's impressed. He likes what he sees. Getting low, having a good look at all of the attributes of this beautiful pointer. Now I should mention, our pointer is catalogue number 36 tonight. See if I can quickly flick through to where the pointer is. Number 36, owned and bred by Patrick and Sharon Berger. Pointer, dream on the move. So solid. Coming to a beautiful natural stand. And the judges. The Australian Kelpie ready to have a run. The Kelpie is exhibit number 73. Number 73, bred and owned by Mrs. D. Kent. Running beautifully on a loose lead. The Kelpie knows exactly what he's about. Or she. It's a she. Like I said, there are some dogs that seem to just show their handlers. And this Kelpie doing exactly that tonight. You've got to be happy with that. The judges handing the decisions to the ring steward as the dogs make their way down to their markers. Just to get it firmly in our minds, our blue dog is the pointer, number 36. Our red dog, the Kelpie, 73. Oh, a red dog.
Okay, the result for this round. We have a red, and a red.
It's unanimously the Australian Kelpie, number 73.
The Kelpie's number is number 73, and the Kelpie will be blue in the next round. Please give these dogs a hand as they leave the ring. Thank you.
Entering the ring is blue dog number 98.
Coming into the ring, we have the Samoyed, 98, and the Portuguese Water Dog, number 91. Of course, both of these breeds from Group 6, the utility group. It's just the way the cookie crumbled this time around. Portuguese Water Dog being examined by Mr. Silva. Looking around to see if it's just me or if the temperature has dropped considerably, but I'm seeing lots of jackets going on. It's getting cold. The Samoyed ready to go over to the man of the hour, Mr. De Santiago. Portuguese Water Dog finishing up with Mr. Santos, making its way around to Mr. De Santiago. That water dog coat is curly and doesn't shed, so the shape of the coat and the clipped back half is all created by some very talented grooming to accentuate and show off the beautiful outline of the Portuguese water dog. Samoyed now being examined. Seems our judges have finished. Oh, no, still going with the Samoyed. The Samoyed is catalogue number 98 from the utility group. Number 98, owned and bred by Nicole Tyndale. Samoyed taking a lap, making good use of the space of the large ring set up for Dog of the Year 2016. Going to a standstill as the Portuguese water dog gets ready to move. The Portuguese water dog, both owned and bred by Matt and Sherry Lilly. Remember, every single dog that has qualified for Dog of the Year tonight has won either a Best in Show, a Championship Show, or a runner-up Best in Show. So it's just an amazing accomplishment to even be here, let alone be in the top 32. Dogs making their way to the markers with the Samoyed blue and the Portuguese water dog at red.
Okay, for this round we have a red, a blue, Portuguese water dog.
The Portuguese water dog is going through.
91. And
Number 91
will be red in the next round. Please put your hands together for these lovely dogs. Thank you.
Alright, move quickly into the next round. 8 to go.
Thank you. Entering the ring, we have Blue Dog 102.
The blue dog is 102, a Dalmatian. And the red dog, another Afghan, exhibit number 44. Afghan and gone over by Mr. Silver, who has of course owned and exhibited and bred Afghans himself, a breed specialist. As the Dalmatian makes its way around to Mr. D. Santiago, we'll consider every aspect of this Dalmatian, from the chest outline, conformation, movement, bite, right down to each individual spot. Are the spots the right size? Are the spots in the right place? And the Dalmatian moving on to Mr. Silver, the third and final judge. Mr. D. Santiago waiting patiently for his turn to examine another Afghan. The breed to which he has contributed so much worldwide. The flowing coated Afghan moving around. Mr. D. Santiago. Should mention our Afghan hound is exhibit number 44. And number 44, owned and bred by Jackie Harnett. Oh, it would be nerve-wracking having Mr. D. Santiago examine your Afghan. Lovely tail wag. Afghans have a tendency to be quite aloof, so it's lovely seeing a tail wag. Moving to our Dalmatian from the non-sporting group. Dalmatian is exhibit number 102. Owned and bred by Dr. Julie Beebe. Sending the Dalmatian right around the ring. The Afghan ready for a turn. Gracefully moving out and back. And being gestured to just head straight around, right around the ring. Judges not needing to have a final look. They've made a decision, it's written down, it's locked in. Remembering our Dalmatian is our blue dot, number 102, and our Afghan hound, number 44, is red.
Okay, the result for this round, we have a red.
We got one red.
A red.
A red.
And a red.
Unanimously, the Afghan hound, number 44.
The Afghan hound number is number 44, and it will become a blue. Please give these dogs a big round of applause.
Sending them around as they leave the ring. Only a handful to go to round out the first round of Dog of the Year for 2016. A blue dog now for this round. It's number 57, the Whippet, up against the Petite Basset Griffon Vendine, number 55, or PBGV, as we normally refer to them as. A bit less of a mouthful. Out in front of Mr. Santos now is our lovely Whippet. Our Whippet is number 57 in the catalogue, owned and bred by Vicky Shaw. Our PBVG being gone over by Mr. Silver now. I must admit a breed that I'm not entirely familiar with, but certainly a very handsome dog. Whippet making its way around. To Mr. D. Santiago. Ready for a thorough examination, starting with the ears. Right down, checking the depth of that chest. And everything right down to the tail. And all breeds judge that it's very prominent in my childhood. If she was ever asked for an opinion on a dog and she couldn't think of anything nice to say, she'd say it has lovely ears. I won't give away who that was. Ears can be very, very important as well to the expression and the makeup of a dog. The PBGB making its way around to Mr. D. Santiago. And the whippet is in front of Mr. Silver off camera. So, Mr. Silver, of course, a sighthound man who has owned and bred whippets himself. So another dog being examined by a breed specialist. It's getting late. We only have a handful of dogs left. Mr. D. Santiago has finished with our PBGB. And Mr. Silver finished with our whippet. We're going to see our whippet on the move first. Catalogue number 57. Both breeds, of course, representatives from the hound group, Group 4. Whippet making good use of the ring. Going out and back, not moving too fast, just keeping it natural. And top line, steady as anything. On the move. Letting the dog come to a stand in front of the judges. Beautiful free stand there. And the judges considering the PBGB. PBGB Petite Basset Griffon Vendine. Bred and owned by Dr. C. West and Miss A. Cooney. Coming to a standstill. Lovely expression. A couple of judges have written on their cards already. Yep, that's all three. All three judges have made a decision. So they'll send our 2 Dog of the Year qualifiers down to their markers. Our whippet, number 57, the blue. And our Petite Basset Griffon Vendine is red, number 55.
Okay, for this round
We have a result.
red.
1 red for the
8
PBGB,
blue,
1 blue for the
and
whippet,
8 red.
and a red.
PBGB goes through.
PBGB has gone through to the next round. Number 55.
Number 55 and 55 will maintain its status of red for the next round. Please give them a big round of applause.
Big round of applause for 2 lovely dogs. Not a unanimous decision. We have our Welsh Terrier, number 24. And the red dog is the Dalmatian, 105. Did I mention 24 is the Welsh Terrier? The judge is ready to examine these 2 beautiful dogs. Been a very healthy representation of Dalmatians gone through tonight. And we're seeing an absolutely immaculate Welsh Terrier. Not to be confused with some of the larger terriers of a similar type, the Lakeland or the Airedale. This one's smaller, but still have that wire coat, so that requires a significant amount of grooming. I'd be interested, I think it involves hand stripping, which is very tough on the hands, but I'd have to confirm that, not being a terrier person, but I would say yes, lots of work going into that immaculate coat. Okay, the Welsh Terrier making his way around. Totally confident, as is our Dalmatian, making its way down to Mr. Santos. Loving the colour of the handler's jacket. That's beautiful. Wonder if I could get away with that colour. Daryl's looking at me like, stop talking about clothes, talk about dogs. Oh, Dalmatian may have just sort of leaned a little bit out of his natural stack there, but that's okay. Good tail wag from our Dally. Oh, and a cuddle for Mum. Lovely. As it makes way around to Mr. D. Santiago. Love a Dalmatian with a beautiful dark eye, which that one does have. The Dalmatian is exhibit number 105. Our Welsh Terrier is exhibit number 24, being considered by Mr. Silver. Let me find 24 in the catalogue. I'll tell you where it comes from. Number 24, Welsh Terrier. Whew. There's a lot of stakeholders in this Welsh Terrier. Are you ready? Bred by Ms. Keith Bailey, Ms. Sharon Admire, and Ms. P. Clark. Now owned by Adrian Adams, Viviana Adamopoulos, Tiffany Adamopoulos, and Vic Jones. A Welsh Terrier heading out and back. Not in any hurry, just showing the natural movement. Nothing forced, nothing overstated. Beautiful pace. And coming to a standstill. Judges a quick look around. That terrier tail straight up like a flag. That's the way it should be. And the handler looking dapper in his dinner suit. Very nice. A Dalmatian is exhibit number 105 tonight. Bred by Fran Darling, this one's now owned by Mr. Paul Goff and Mrs. Tamarin Chandler. Alright, our two dogs have already had their fates sealed on 3 bits of paper as I take them down to the announcer. Our Welsh Terrier is blue. Our Dalmatian from the non-sporting group, Group 7, is red. As our announcer gets ready. The results are a blue,
a blue,
a blue,
and a blue. The Welsh Terrier.
Unanimously, the Welsh Terrier, number 24, moving through to the next round.
Maintain his blue colour for the next round.
Our last 2 now for the first round are ready to enter the ring.
After our round, and then we'll move on to the next portion.
A beautiful Saluki, number 59, coming through for blue. And our red exhibit is a Great Dane, number 113. Of course, some very tough hound judges. Mr. Silver considering the Great Dane first from the non-sporting group. The non-sporting group's an interesting one because You have big dogs like the Great Dane, through your Dalmatians and right down to dogs like your Shih Tzus and your French Bulldogs, which are much smaller. And of course, in many countries, Great Danes have cropped ears. Not in Australia, though. Mr. Santos considering the beautiful ethereal Saluki. Growing up in boarding kennels when I was very little, I didn't grow up there, but spent a couple of years with the family boarding kennels. I remember having some Salukis that were vegetarians that would board with us. And I can pretty much guarantee that that Saluki is probably not a vegetarian. But Mr. D. Santiago examining our Saluki. I should mention our Saluki is catalogue number 59. I'll quickly flick through 59. Number 59. Bred by Ian Rasmussen and Philip Bennett. Now just owned by Ian Rasmussen, Mr. Rasmussen. Our Great Dane being examined as well. Now this is mentioned the cropped ears. You'll see the handler pulling the ears up, and that's just to give the judges who may be more used to seeing the Great Danes with cropped ears the view of the neck and the top line the way it would be what they're used to seeing. But cropped ears, or cropping of ears, has been not allowed in Australia for a very long time. I don't ever remember a time in my lifetime, which is only 21 years, right guys, of seeing cropped ears. Alright, our Great Dane. Our final dog is exhibit number 113. Both owned and bred by Julie Ruddle. Ready to see our last two dogs for the first round be moved. Judging will move much more quickly after these last two have been examined, because of course the judges have thoroughly gone over each of the dogs. It'll be more just an exercise of reminding themselves what it is they liked about each dog that they've put through so far for the next few rounds. Quick readjustment as the Saluki makes its way around to applause. And the Great Dane ready to move as well. Ready to watch him move. I'm watching to see when it is that the judges decide. We've got one writing on the paper. Two still considering. Sending them all the way around. And yes, our other two judges have made a decision, handing it over to the ring steward now. Sending back down our Saluki blue. So if we call blue, that means the Saluki is going through. If we call red, that's our Great Dane.
Okay, the results for this round.
Results are in.
We have a blue,
a blue,
and a blue.
Overall, the Saluki is going through to the next round.
Number 59, and he will now take on the colour of red in the next round.
So that is all of our exhibits for the first round.
Judging, we're now moving on to the second round. I think we'll move along very against number 76.
We're now down to our top 8. We've skipped a couple of rounds, and coming through we have our Siberian Husky, number 82 in blue position, and Australian Shepherd is 76 in red. Judges, of course, have already examined each of these dogs. They've now put them through 3 rounds, into the 4th round, the top 8. Each of these dogs, whether they are put through to the next round or not, the one that doesn't go through still receives a beautiful rosette and a prize for making it this far.
This round we have a red.
The Australian Shepherd, one for the side. The Siberian Husky, number 82 is going through.
Santiago will present the Australian Shepherd with their award for making it this far in the competition to the final 8.
Coming into the ring now is 104 in blue, the Standard Poodle, and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier number 22 is in red position. A big decision. The judges taking an extra moment or two to make a decision this time around.
And the results for this round?
The results are 1 blue for the Poodle,
and Blue. Congratulations.
Unanimous, the Standard Poodle.
20 red dogs for the next round. And the Staffordshire Bull Terrier to receive its award for making it to the final 8 in the competition. Next up we have number 64.
Now, next 2 making their way into the ring. The Border Collie in front, Kelpie behind. Border Collie is 64 on the Australian Kelpie, number 73, the Battle of the Working Dogs. The judges, 1, 2, and 3 have made a decision, sending it down to our announcer. The Border Collie is blue, Australian Kelpie is red.
Okay, for this round we have a blue,
1 blue,
a red,
1 red,
and a red.
it's the Australian Kelpie. Giving a big cheer.
The Kelpie is number 73. 73 will become a blue dog. Okay, for our last heat in this round, number 44, the Afghan, competing against the Welsh Terrier, number 20.
These are our last 2 dogs for this particular round. Our Afghan Hound in blue position, number 44, and the Welsh Terrier is 24 in red.
we have a red,
A red,
a blue,
a blue for the
and a
Afghan.
blue. Congratulations.
And a blue is the Afghan hound going through. A wonderful, wonderful accolade from specifically 2 Afghan breeders, including Kelpie number 73. And judges are not making their decision quickly. They're taking a moment. They're going to look at their dogs. They're even sending them out and back again. Mr. De Santiago asking to see the poodle. Another out and back. It's not a small decision. They're taking it very seriously. Ah, beautiful. A round of applause. A lot of tension as we're sending the poodle around the ring one more time. It's time for the Kelpie to have a look. Kelpie having a chance to go out and back. Lots of cheers. Kelpie very excited. And a waggy tail. No, I love a waggy tail. The judges having a good look at the Kelpie, its natural stand. Sending the Australian Kelpie around one more time. How exciting. Alright, so as we hear the decision, keep in mind, our standard poodle, Supreme Champion Bacardi is my aphrodisiac, is blue, and our Australian Kelpie, number 73, Supreme Champion Oatland Ruby Rose, is red. Judges have each made the decision. Have they made a decision? No, they're still deciding. Not sure. They're going to send them around together for the benefit of the audience and themselves, I'm sure. How exciting. Poodle on its way first. The judge is giving them a round of applause as well. The judge is very impressed. Oh, okay. We've got Mr. Santos waving us around. And the last to make his decision, Mr. De Santiago.
Okay, the moment of truth.
We have all of
We
our
have
representatives.
this scores. A red, a blue,
One for the Kelpie, one for the Poodle.
and a blue. Congratulations.
It's the standard Poodle.
Queensland Dog of the Year 2016. Trophy is being presented by our President, Mr. Shane Thomas,
Shane Thomas, the President of Dogs Queensland, presenting the trophy.
and our Royal Canin Rep, Stacey Guilfoyle. Please keep that round of applause going for our 3 judges who have done an exceptional job tonight.
A round of applause for our 3 fantastic judges.
Our winner and our runner-up, the Standard Poodle and
Dog of the Year for 2016, the Standard Poodle, and the runner-up, the 2016 Queensland Dog of the Year, the Australian Kelpie. 2 great big grins. They're doing a double lap, all right. A big congratulations. How are you feeling?
A bit excited.
I can imagine. Did you have a little nervous moment when they were standing there making you wait?
Absolutely. Very exciting time.
How are you going to celebrate when you head off tonight?
Bath him out.
Yeah, get rid of all of the hairspray.
Yeah, exactly.
How many hours of grooming do you think went in just for today?
Oh, probably about 5 hours.
5 hours, well worth it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.